Cup without Meg Lanning. They've dominated.
Australia have enjoyed a fantastic first half to this World Cup final. Natalie Germanas joins me. But before we start talking about how this match is going to go, I have a few numbers that I want to rattle off first. Australia have smashed some records along the way. I'm going to take a deep breath in. 356 is the highest total in a Women's World Cup final. Alyssa Healy has raced past Rachel Haynes to become the highest run getter in this edition of the tournament. Alyssa Healy has now become the only international cricketer to have a century in a semi-final and a final of a World Cup. And Alyssa Healy and Rachel Haynes together have put up the highest opening partnership in a Women's World Cup final. Now, let's get back to you, Natalie.
I tell you what, just before we go anywhere, I have to tell you, that was just about as good as Alyssa Healy today. That was absolutely brilliant. Well done.
Thank you. Australian dominance through and through.
Oh, you know, we look over the years since 2017 and we spoke so much about their dominance since 2017, losing a couple of ODIs in that time. And one of them happened to be just after that 2017 World Cup without Meg Lanning. They've dominated since then and they just showed us on the park today why. There'll be questions asked about England and their tactics and also obviously the choice to have a ball first, but take nothing away from Australia. I think we've got to focus on Australia and how good they were. Healy was sensational. Haynes was perfect. It just doesn't get much better than that. And I had to say, for me, maybe the best ODI innings ever.
You spoke about that decision at the toss. What did you make of it?
Oh, I was surprised personally. Before seeing the pitch, my thoughts were that I would have gone, if I'm Australia, I want to chase. But for England, I thought their best chance would be batting first, even though Australia are good chasers, because you put runs on the board and you put Australia under pressure. You've got the excellent bowlers, you've got the number one ODI bowler in the world. So I was surprised. Then seeing the deck, I thought they're going to have to bat first. It's a good pitch. There's not a lot in it. There's not a lot of moisture. We haven't got any rain. It's a cloudless day. I thought they had to bat first. So I was surprised when they chose to bowl.
Now, England had a terrible start to this tournament. They peaked somewhere around that semi-final, and now it's waning slightly with all the drop catches in that inning.
Yeah, they're going to rue that, obviously. That's the thing against Australia as well, and against the likes of Haynes and Healy. It might have been maybe just 2 drop catches, but they were huge. They were really costly. You look back on South Africa, they dropped well over, I think, 5 or 6 or 7 they dropped. I mean, Danny Wyatt was dropped numerous times. But in this one, they didn't drop a lot, but it cost them huge. And it may cost them their World Cup title as well. You do not drop catches against Australia.
So what is England thinking now? Can they do this? If they can, how do they do this?
Well, for me, I don't see the point in going out there and just sort of batting out your 50 overs. There's really no point to that. You're not going to learn anything from it. You're not going to gain anything from it. That doesn't mean that they must just go guns blazing, go after that power play, because you've got to respect the bowling as well. It is a good surface. You will get a 4-ball. And you've got to sort of wait for that and be patient. But at the same time, there's no point not being proactive. They need to be proactive. They need to be a little bit creative. Back themselves. Say, all right, that's done. Let's move it along. Jacques Kallis, by the way, had a very famous saying at that 438 game when they made 434 and we thought, oh goodness, there's no ways. First time ever that 400 was scored in a men's one-day international at the Wanderers, and Jacques Kallis stopped off in the dressing room and said, I think the bowlers did their job. They probably fell about 20 short. You kind of need that possibly.
Yeah.
You need somebody to sort of bring in a little bit of a laugh, get them to relax a little bit. And just back themselves. Danny Wyatt can pull off something special as well today. You need Nat Siver, you need Heather Knight, etc., etc. It's got to be a team effort. But there's no point just sort of batting out those 50 overs.
So some inspiration for the English if they're looking for it. Natalie, thank you so much for talking to us. 357 is what this English side need if they are to lift that World Cup. The chase is truly on. It's a beautiful sunny evening here at the Hagley Oval in Christchurch. We'll see you at the end of this match. Australia have enjoyed a fantastic first half to this World